All right, so we're on the telephone with Nick Hunter. He is a member of the Shire of White Mountain, an SCA group. Nick, welcome to Crazy Radio. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you.
Good. So tell me exactly, what is SCA and who makes up the Shire of White Mountain?
So the SCA stands for the Society for Creative Anachronism, and it is a group of historical enthusiasts that make it a point to recreate characters and way of life from 600 to 1600 AD, so basically medieval and Renaissance times. It basically is comprised of a lot of different hobbies and crafts, anywhere from cooking and camping to fencing and fighting, clothes making, brew making, and it's really just a lot of fun.
Now, as far as the reliving those days, do you guys go so far as maybe one of you guys catches dysentery or anything like that?
No, we don't go that far, at least not on purpose. But yeah, it's we all have our day jobs, so it's certainly not like something that we do all the time. But it is something we do on weekends. We get together for special events. We do camping events.
What age group are people allowed to join you? I mean, are we looking at just young adults, or are we looking at kids, or who makes up the membership?
Really, anybody can join. It's generally an adult group, but anybody can join, of course, to participate in the fencing activities, the fencing and fighting activities that we do. We do have an age requirement of 16 or above, but we have members of all ages. My children are in the group, and currently my youngest is 13. Because, like I said, it's a variety of crafts and skills that we utilize. So we do things like making silk banners or making clothes and stuff like that. So it can really be appropriate for all ages. We also have musicians. So we have, banging on drums or strumming on a guitar or things like that can really be picked up by anybody.
A guitar? Shouldn't that be a mandolin or a lyre? Well, I guess a lyre's too old.
Yeah. I mean, a lute, I guess, would probably be more accurate.
There we go.
They tend to be a little bit more expensive, but there's a way to tune a guitar to where you can play generally accurately to how a lute was tuned.
This sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, to be honest with you, the only thing I've known about SCA groups prior to talking to you are people who dress in tin cans and hit each other with sticks. I never went to any of the events or fairs or anything like that, so it's interesting to see that you guys are not just reenacting battles, but try and bring back, I guess I'd want to say, romanticizing some of the high points of that era. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say, but, not to discredit the dressing up in tin cans and hitting each other with sticks is a pretty fun aspect to it. So we do have what we call heavy combat, which is pretty much what that is. We also have light combat, which simulates more later period fencing. So they do use real steel swords, but rubber tipped. There's a very high focus on safety. So we utilize modern fencing masks just for safety purposes. So that's a lot of fun too. It's a different variety of combat. But yeah, all the different ways of life, cooking and everything else, it gets a little bit more participation from others that combat may not be the key drawing in factor for them. It's a wide spectrum of activities, and we try to make it to where anybody, regardless of skill level or age, has something that they might find interesting.
So do you guys have an event coming up that you want to tell me about?
There is a Renaissance Fair in Ruidoso coming up in May. We're looking to have some demonstrations on site there. We also have some events in August up near Cloudcroft and Mayhill. And we have a weekly practice here in town in Alamogordo. And we also have a very close relationship with our sister groups in El Paso and Las Cruces, as well as Albuquerque. So whenever they have any kind of like a Renaissance fair or something like that, we try to get together and support our various local communities. Yeah, it's really just a lot of fun. I don't think we have anything in the immediate future specifically, but we are looking to bolster our group's numbers so that when we do have our next big event, that we'll have a really good amount of representation.
How does someone find out more about this group if they do want to join, or maybe just learn something about it?
We do have a local a Facebook page for our local group. It's called Shire of White Mountain. That's a Facebook group. But if anybody is just looking for more information on the organization at all, SCA.org is probably the best website. They have information on the organization overall, as well as links to some of the various local chapters. But for our local group, that Facebook page is probably the best bet.
We're speaking with Nick Hunter from the Shire of White Mountain. Nick, before I let you go, is there anything else you want to share with those that are hearing your voice?
Just come on down and check it out. Come see us. We often have loaner equipment available if it's something that you just want to dip your toes into, or even just sit down and watch or ask us some questions. We all love talking about our hobby. We're very passionate about it, and we love answering questions. So, we encourage you to come down. We meet at the park between Kids Zone and the tennis courts on Oregon Avenue in Alamogordo. We meet every Sunday at 10 a.m. Yeah, come on down and come talk to us.
So if I was to show up dressed like a Viking and I had a club with me with spikes coming out of it and just started wailing on people, would that be cool?
We would appreciate the enthusiasm, but we would probably check to make sure the weapon is safe or that you're appropriately armored. We would embrace the enthusiasm.
All right, Nick, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and we do hope to hear from you again. So when you have something coming up, give me a call and let's share it with the public, shall we?
That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much.